This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024, McDonald's tragedy. Gunman shoots two young boys in Bronx restaurant. A masked gunman targeted and shot two young boys aged 12 and 13 inside a McDonald's restaurant in the Bronx. The incident occurred in the Allerton neighborhood, leaving both children hospitalized. The gunman remains at large, and the NYPD is investigating the incident. The boys were taken to Jacobi Hospital for treatment. Both victims are expected to survive their injuries, but the emotional trauma inflicted on them and their families will likely endure. As the investigation continues, residents remain on edge, hoping for a swift resolution and justice for the young victims. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Scorching temperatures sweep over 18 states. Urgent warnings issued by National Weather Service. Record-setting heat will continue to torment millions of Americans this weekend. Temperatures are expected to exceed 100 degrees in 18 states and the District of Columbia, with heat advisories affecting over 130 million people. States like California, Arizona, and Oregon are experiencing extreme conditions, with Las Vegas reaching 112 degrees and Phoenix recording highs of 116 degrees. The National Weather Service has issued excessive heat warnings, urging people to stay hydrated and avoid outdoor activities during peak hours. In California, authorities are on high alert for potential wildfires, with the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection actively monitoring the situation. Multnomah County in Oregon has reported an increase in heat-related emergencies, and cooling centers have been established to provide relief for affected residents. State officials, including California Governor Gavin Newsom, are advising the public to take necessary precautions to ensure safety. The ongoing heat wave poses significant health risks and challenges. With temperatures projected to remain high, communities across the affected regions are urged to stay vigilant and adhere to safety guidelines issued by authorities. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Tragic loss in the NFL. Minnesota Vikings Kyrie Jackson dies in Maryland car accident. Minnesota Vikings rookie cornerback Kyrie Jackson tragically passed away in a car accident in his home state of Maryland. Jackson, age 24, was traveling with two former high school teammates, Anthony Litton Jr. and Isaiah Hazel, when their vehicle was involved in a three-car collision. The crash resulted in the immediate deaths of all three young men. The accident occurred around 3:15 a.m. when the Dodge Charger they were in was struck by a silver Infiniti driven by a 23-year-old woman. The Charger went off the road and crashed into several trees before ending up on a service road adjacent to the highway. Jackson, who was a front-seat passenger, died at the scene, while Litton Jr. died later at a hospital. All three men were graduates of Henry Wise High School in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and were part of state championship teams. The driver of the Infiniti and her two passengers were uninjured. State police are investigating the crash, which may have involved alcohol. The incident has elicited an outpouring of support and condolences from across the NFL community, including messages from the Seattle Seahawks. Jackson's death serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of tragedy. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Tragic Kentucky birthday party shooting leaves 4 dead. A tragic shooting in Florence, Kentucky has left 4 people dead and 3 injured. The shooting took place at a birthday party, with police receiving 911 calls of an active shooter at the residence. When police arrived at the scene, the suspect was still firing shots, and subsequently led them on a chase before turning the gun on himself. The victims have been identified as 20-year-old Shane Miller, 20-year-old Hayden Rebick, 19-year-old Delaney Erie, and 44-year-old Melissa Perry. 3 others remain hospitalized but are in stable condition and expected to recover. The community is in shock and mourning the loss of their neighbors, with Melissa Parrott being described as the heart of the neighborhood. The investigation is still ongoing, and more information is expected to emerge as the case develops. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Trump classified documents case paused. Judge Cannon grants deadline extension amid Supreme Court ruling. U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon has granted former President Donald Trump's request to pause some deadlines in his classified documents case. This decision comes amid ongoing questions regarding Trump's claim of immunity. The pause was granted following a Supreme Court ruling that impacts the proceedings, which raises substantial implications for multiple cases involving Trump's handling of classified information and alleged federal election interference. The Department of Justice, led by Special Counsel Jack Smith, had initially opposed the request to delay. However, Judge Cannon's ruling now sets the stage for further legal maneuvers as both sides prepare their next steps. Critics argue that this pause could stall the momentum of the case, while supporters claim it's a necessary measure to address complex legal questions. The decision underscores the intricate legal challenges surrounding a former president's immunity claims, particularly in the context of federal criminal charges. Details on how long these deadlines will be paused remain to be clarified. The case continues to draw widespread attention, not just for its political ramifications, but also for its aid to set legal precedents in the future. As the legal teams regroup, all eyes remain on the unfolding developments in the courtroom. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Escape and capture. Clayborn County's 33-hour manhunt concludes. 2 murder suspects, Tyree Kennel Collins and Desarius Johnson, who escaped from the Clayborn County Detention Center in Mississippi, have been apprehended following a 33-hour manhunt. The suspects, aged 24 and 18 respectively, were being held on murder charges. They escaped by accessing a part of the ceiling and breaking through the roof, leading authorities on a widespread search involving local law enforcement and state patrol units. The search extended into neighboring counties and involved close coordination with the sheriff's departments. The breakthrough came when the escapees were located in an abandoned home, where they were subsequently taken into custody without incident. Both individuals were originally held on murder charges and have now been returned to detention. Clayborn County Sheriff Edward Goods expressed relief at their capture, acknowledging the diligent work of all involved officers. The incident has prompted a review of security protocols at the detention center to prevent future escapes. Sheriff Jefferson County's James Bailey emphasized the importance of vigilance in maintaining public safety. With the suspects back in custody, investigators will continue to examine the escape's circumstances to address any procedural lapses. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Biden under fire. Democrats question fitness and strategy after ABC News interview. President Joe Biden's recent interview with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos has sparked mixed reactions from Democrats in Congress and donors. The 22-minute conversation aimed to address concerns about Biden's mental fitness and his ability to outmaneuver former President Donald Trump in the upcoming election. Despite his assertions of vigor and commitment to staying in the race, many Democrats remain unconvinced, with some urging him to withdraw. During the interview, Biden acknowledged a bad episode in a recent debate but pushed back against broader questions about his age and mental fitness. He declined to undergo an independent medical evaluation that included cognitive tests and share the results with the public. This decision has raised further doubts among Democrats about his capacity to lead effectively for another 4 years. The pressure on Biden is mounting, with 4 House Democrats already urging him to withdraw from the election. The sentiment among House Democrats remains unaltered, with a consensus emerging that it might be time for Biden to consider stepping down. Critics within the party found the interview underwhelming, with some deeming Biden's chances in November as bleak. The interview's mixed reception has left some Democrats feeling unsatisfied, and lawmakers have cautioned that it would not substantially alter perceptions on Capitol Hill. Expectations were high before the interview, but its outcome has raised more questions than it answered, prompting reflections on the Biden campaign strategy moving forward. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Ceasefire stalemate. Israel introduces new demands in U.S.-backed talks with Hamas. The Israeli government has been accused of attempting to sabotage a U.S.-backed ceasefire proposal in Gaza by introducing new demands despite previously accepting the plan. This development comes amidst increasing hopes for a ceasefire, with Hamas having tentatively endorsed a new phased agreement after 9 months of war since the assault on October 7. Egyptian officials and Hamas representatives reported that the militant group had dropped a crucial demand for Israel to commit to definitively ending the conflict before any cessation of hostilities. However, David Bernea, head of the Mossad Foreign Intelligence Service, was dispatched to Qatar to engage in talks where he introduced fresh concerns, potentially derailing the negotiations. Israeli media indicated that these new demands might prolong the talks, casting uncertainty on Hamas's willingness to comply. Protests erupted in Israel to urge the government to secure the release of remaining captives in Gaza. The situation remains dire, with ongoing violence and casualties reported, and the UN Agency for Palestinians expressing deep concern over the plight faced by families, emphasizing the urgent need for essential supplies. The conflict, initiated 9 months ago by Hamas-led fighters, has claimed numerous lives and led to a substantial number of casualties in Gaza, underscoring the urgent need for a resolution to the prolonged hostilities. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024, examining Biden's health. House Republicans request interview with Dr. Kevin O'Connor. House Republicans, led by Chairman James Comer, have formally requested a transcribed interview with President Joe Biden's physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor. This move is part of a broader investigation into President Biden's mental and physical health, as well as his family's business dealings. The request follows President Biden's recent debate performance, which raised concerns about his ability to effectively fulfill his duties as president. Dr. O'Connor had previously declared President Biden healthy, strong, and capable of effectively fulfilling the duties of the presidency in a February evaluation. However, Republicans are now questioning whether the doctor's assessment was thorough enough and whether he has been influenced by his business dealings with the Biden family. Specifically, they are seeking information about Dr. O'Connor's involvement with AmeriCorps, a company linked to President Biden's brother, James Biden. The Oversight Committee is also seeking documents and correspondences related to Dr. O'Connor's evaluation process and any additional cognitive assessments he may have conducted since February. Republicans are seeking to determine whether President Biden is fit to continue in office and whether his health issues could impact his ability to lead the country effectively. The request for an interview with Dr. O'Connor has sparked controversy, with some arguing that it represents an undue intrusion into the president's privacy, while others insist on the importance of accountability and transparency at the highest levels of government. The outcome of this request may have significant implications not only for the Biden administration, but also for the broader landscape of political accountability in the United States. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Bitcoin plummets to $1.9 trillion shock. Mt. Gox payouts, government sales, and market woes shake Coinbase, MicroStrategy, Robinhood. Bitcoin is plummeting towards a $1.9 trillion shock, marking one of the worst crashes in its history. This drastic fall follows the beginning of a $9 billion payout from the defunct Mt. Gox cryptocurrency exchange, coupled with government selling and escalating market pressures. Over $170 billion has been wiped off the cryptocurrency market, causing widespread concern among traders and investors. The sudden selling pressure has led to significant price instability, prompting market participants to reassess their positions. Cryptocurrency-related stocks like Coinbase, MicroStrategy, and Robinhood have also taken a hit amid this sell-off. The overwhelming selling pressure has caused Bitcoin traders to set their sights on a $50,000 target, although such a rebound seems uncertain as of now. Many market watchers believe the current situation might bring unprecedented challenges for Bitcoin and the broader cryptocurrency market. With billions in Bitcoin poised for selling, the uncertainty looms large over its near-term future. Thus, the significant decline in Bitcoin's value is not only affecting the digital currency itself, but also extending its impact to the broader financial landscape. Investors are reminded to stay vigilant as this volatile situation continues to unfold. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. NASCAR and AB power up with electric vehicle prototype at Chicago Street Race. NASCAR has recently unveiled an electric vehicle prototype at the Chicago Street Race, marking a significant venture into the electric vehicle market for the popular racing series. The prototype, produced in collaboration with AB, showcased advanced electric racing technology, signaling NASCAR's push towards sustainability. The EV prototype is powered by a 1,300 horsepower electric motor, making it one of the most powerful electric racers to date. Veteran driver David Reagan took the wheel, demonstrating the vehicle's capabilities around the temporarily closed streets of Chicago. This introduction is seen as a part of NASCAR's broader strategy to gradually integrate electric vehicles into its racing formats, though they are not entirely moving away from gasoline-powered cars. Moreover, the electric vehicle prototype is aligned with global trends in motorsports, where there is a shift towards greener and more sustainable practices. Brands like Ford and Chevrolet are expected to play significant roles in further developments. NASCAR's debut of its electric vehicle prototype points to an evolving future where traditional racing meets modern sustainability efforts. This move is likely to spark further innovations and discussions in the motorsport community about the balance between performance and environmental responsibility. This is the news for today. Sunday, July 7, 2024. Mars simulation mission concludes at NASA. Insights from CHAPEA's year-long journey. 4 volunteers who participated in NASA's Mars simulation have concluded their mission and will re-emerge today. The simulation, a part of the CHAPEA Mission 1, took place at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. The crew, comprising Kelly Haston, Anka Solariu, Ross Brockwell, and Nathan Jones, spent a total of 378 days in the habitat designed to mimic Martian conditions. During their year-long stay, the participants encountered various challenges that future Mars explorers might face. These included communication delays, resource limitations, and periods of isolation. They engaged in activities such as habitat maintenance, performing Mars walks, and conducting robotic operations. The mission aimed to study the effects of long-duration spaceflight on human health and performance. It also explored strategies for crop growth in a controlled environment, an essential component for sustaining life on Mars. The findings from this mission are expected to contribute significantly to NASA's Artemis campaign, which plans future lunar and Martian exploration missions. As these volunteers step out, the data collected will provide valuable insights for NASA. This experiment underscores the space agency's continuing efforts to prepare for human colonization of Mars, with the ultimate goal of supporting astronauts on long-duration space journeys. This is the news for today. Sunday, July 7, 2024, exploring the massive RockU 2024 data breach, a record-breaking threat to cybersecurity. The RockU 2024 file, posted on a popular hacking forum, contains nearly 10 billion unique plaintext passwords, making it the largest password compilation ever. This massive dataset combines passwords from multiple breaches over the years, including the 8.4 billion passwords from RockU 2021. The leak poses a significant threat to cybersecurity, as it can be used for credential stuffing attacks, targeting systems vulnerable to brute force attacks, including online services, cameras, and industrial hardware. To protect against this, users are advised to use strong, unique passwords for each account, enable multi-factor authentication, and utilize password managers. Regularly updating passwords and monitoring accounts for suspicious activity is crucial to prevent unauthorized access. This is the news for today. Sunday, July 7, 2024, Amtrak resumes Northeast route, overcoming lightning strike challenges. Amtrak services between New York and Boston have resumed following a temporary suspension. The suspension was caused by a power outage triggered by a lightning strike on Saturday. This outage affected Amtrak's electrified rail systems, leading to significant disruptions. Amtrak officials worked swiftly to restore services and minimize inconveniences for passengers. The swift response by maintenance crews was praised, allowing operations to recommence on the same day. Amtrak has committed to reviewing and bolstering its infrastructure to mitigate future occurrences. Passengers are advised to check for updates and potential delays as services fully normalize. This incident serves as a reminder of the essential nature of vigilant maintenance and rapid response mechanisms in public transportation systems. The restoration of services has been welcomed by the commuter community and helps restore some normalcy following an abrupt disruption. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Schiff endorses Harris for 2024. A presidential shift on the horizon. Democratic Representative Adam Schiff has expressed strong support for Vice President Kamala Harris as a potential presidential candidate. Schiff believes that if President Joe Biden were to step down, Harris could win overwhelmingly against former President Donald Trump in the 2024 elections. Schiff has emphasized that Biden must either secure a decisive victory or consider passing the torch, highlighting Harris' capability to lead the nation effectively. This endorsement comes amid growing speculation about Biden's re-election campaign and concerns regarding his age and cognitive abilities. Schiff has also suggested that both Biden and Trump should undertake cognitive tests to reassure the public about their fitness for the highest office. The debates and views surrounding this topic underscore the dynamic and uncertain nature of the upcoming 2024 presidential election. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Gaza tragedy. Israeli strike on UN school kills 16 amid escalating conflict. An Israeli airstrike on a United Nations school in Gaza has killed at least 16 people, according to Palestinian authorities. The school, located in the Nuseirat refugee camp, was sheltering displaced individuals when it was hit. Eyewitnesses reported scenes of chaos and devastation as bodies were pulled from the rubble and survivors sought medical help. The Israeli military stated that the target was struck because it was being used by Hamas as a command center. However, this claim has added to the tension and increasing criticism from the international community regarding the high civilian death toll in the ongoing conflict. Hospitals in the area, already overwhelmed, are struggling to cope with the influx of injured people from the strike. Reactions from various global leaders and human rights organizations have condemned the attack, calling for immediate measures to protect civilians. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza continues to deepen as the conflict escalates, with a high number of casualties reported daily. This tragic incident underscores the severe impact of the conflict on civilians and highlights the urgent need for a ceasefire and humanitarian intervention. The international community remains deeply concerned about the escalating violence in the region. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Detroit tragedy. Fatal block party shooting leaves 2 dead, 19 injured. A tragic shooting incident occurred at a block party in Detroit, leaving 2 people dead and 19 others injured. The incident took place early Sunday morning on the city's east side, near Wish-Egan Field in the Mohican Regent neighborhood. Michigan State Police confirmed the fatalities and injuries, with no suspects in custody. The investigation is ongoing, and authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward. This incident follows several recent shootings at block parties in the area, highlighting the persistent issue of gun violence in urban communities. Detroit authorities are preparing to address the public in a press conference to update the community on the shooting and introduce a new comprehensive strategy for managing block parties. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Hurricane Beryl's path of destruction. From the Caribbean to Texas coast, Hurricane Beryl is forecasted to strengthen and strike the Texas coast as a dangerous Category 1 hurricane. The storm is expected to bring life-threatening storm surges and damaging hurricane-force winds. Beryl has already claimed at least 9 lives during its rampage across the Caribbean islands and Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. The National Hurricane Center predicts that Beryl will regain hurricane strength before hitting the Texas coast early Monday, bringing perilous storm surges of up to 6 feet and damaging hurricane-force winds. The storm is also expected to cause heavy rainfall of up to 15 inches, potentially leading to flash flooding in some areas. Authorities in Texas are preparing for the storm's impact, with sandbags being distributed to residents in South Texas. Houses in the region are securing their windows with boards, and a hurricane warning has been issued for parts of the Texas coast. The storm's rapid intensification is attributed to unusually warm ocean waters, highlighting the abnormality of this hurricane season, which many say are exacerbated by the effects of global warming. As Beryl approaches the Texas coast, residents are advised to stay informed and take necessary precautions to ensure their safety. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Caitlin Clark shines. First rookie triple-double in WNBA leads Indiana Fever to victory over New York Liberty. Caitlin Clark made history in the WNBA by becoming the first rookie to record a triple-double. In a recent game, Clark led the Indiana Fever to an 83-78 victory over the New York Liberty, finishing with 19 points, 13 assists, and 12 rebounds. This achievement marks the first triple-double in Fever history and underscores Clark's exceptional talent and dedication to her team. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Bronny James steps onto the court, analyzing his NBA Summer League debut with the Los Angeles Lakers. Bronny James, the son of NBA superstar LeBron James, recently made his NBA Summer League debut playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. In his first game, Bronny contributed 4 points in a 108-94 loss to the Sacramento Kings at the California Classic. Despite missing his initial 2 shots, he showed persistence and eventually scored his first NBA points with a driving layup just before halftime. The 19-year-old guard started in the lineup and demonstrated his determination to prove himself on the court, overcoming a challenging health scare last year and signing a lucrative 4-year contract worth $7.9 million with the Lakers. Analysts and fans alike are keeping a close eye on his development, given his prominent basketball lineage. The Summer League serves as an important testing ground for young players like Bronny to gain experience and showcase their skills. As the games progress, all eyes will be on whether he can step up his game and follow in the footsteps of his illustrious father. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. France faces uncertainty. Macron's centrists outpaced by left-wing surge in parliamentary elections. In a significant political shift, France's recent parliamentary elections have seen a surge in left-wing parties, thwarting the far-right's anticipated gains. Despite President Emmanuel Macron's decision to dissolve the National Assembly and call for snap elections, his centrist bloc has been outperformed by the left-wing coalition, which is projected to secure the most seats. The far-right National Rally, led by Marine Le Pen, has made significant gains but fallen short of expectations. This outcome has led to a hung parliament, with no single bloc close to securing the 289 seats required for a majority in the National Assembly. The election results have significant implications for France and beyond, including the conflict in Ukraine, global diplomacy, and Europe's economic stability. The absence of a clear majority suggests a period of political and economic uncertainty, with the potential for a coalition government. Macron's centrist camp will need to share power, facing challenges in decision-making on crucial issues such as supporting Ukraine, labor reforms, and deficit reduction. The unexpected large voter turnout in the legislative election marks a departure from decades of voter apathy, reflecting a renewed interest in politics among the French populace. The aftermath of these elections may usher in a period of fragile governance susceptible to no-confidence votes that could jeopardize the stability of any coalition. Amidst calls for Macron to consider an early end to his term, the French constitution limits his options, leaving the country in a state of uncertainty as it navigates through uncharted political waters. This is the news for today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. Reversal of Earth's core. Implications and insights. Scientists have confirmed a significant change in the behavior of Earth's core. Recent studies show that the Earth's inner core, which normally rotates, has slowed dramatically and is now moving in the reverse direction. This phenomenon marks a notable disruption in the regular pattern of Earth's core dynamics. The core's rotation has slowed so much that it has begun to spin backwards, a process that appears to occur roughly every 70 years. This reversal has implications for the planet's magnetic field and overall rotation cycle, which could affect various geological and environmental conditions. The slowdown and reversal have been linked to changes in the magnetic field, which is generated by movements within the core. Researchers have observed that this cyclical pattern influences the behavior of the Earth's outer layers, possibly altering seismic activity and driving shifts in the climate. The discovery was made using seismic data which provided insights into the core's rotation patterns over decades. Scientists stress the importance of continued observation to understand the full impact of these changes on Earth's geophysical processes. The reversal of Earth's core rotation is a dramatic event with potential implications for the planet's magnetic field and geophysical properties. Further research is essential to comprehend the long-term effects of this phenomenon on Earth's environment and stability. This is the news for today. Sunday, July 7, 2024. Lewis Hamilton triumphs at Silverstone. A historic ninth win at the British Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton secured a thrilling victory at the British Grand Prix, his ninth win at Silverstone, setting a new record. In a highly competitive race, Hamilton edged out Max Verstappen to take the top spot. This emotional win marked a significant milestone for Hamilton, who has consistently demonstrated his exceptional skill and dedication to the sport. The British Grand Prix has once again proven to be a highlight of the Formula One season, with Hamilton's triumph leaving fans and fellow drivers alike in awe. This is the news for today. Sunday, July 7, 2024. Keir Starmer's Northern Ireland outreach. Stability, growth, and the Good Friday Agreement. Keir Starmer has embarked on his first visit to Northern Ireland as Prime Minister, underscoring his commitment to promoting stability and economic growth in the region. During his overnight trip, he met with key political figures, including Michelle O'Neill of Sinn Féin and the DUP's Emma Little-Pengelly, to discuss the Good Friday Agreement and the need for sustained political dialogue to maintain peace and progress. Starmer highlighted major infrastructure projects, such as the development of Casement Park, which will host events for Euro 2028, and emphasized the importance of these initiatives for local economic opportunities. Alongside Northern Ireland Secretary Hilary Benn, they toured various areas to witness the implementation of community-focused policies. This visit is part of Starmer's broader tour of UK nations, aiming to reset relations and foster cooperation across different regions. He reiterated the Labour government's focus on providing stability and certainty, calling for unity and collaborative efforts to address pressing issues and promising continued support for Northern Ireland's growth and prosperity. This is the news for today. Sunday, July 7, 2024. Ceasefire progress. Hamas, Israel, and mediators work towards peace in Middle East talks. Hamas appears to have facilitated a potential ceasefire agreement with Israel by dropping a key demand. This shift in stance emerged during ongoing negotiations mediated by Egypt, which has been actively involved in brokering peace. The discussions involve high-level officials from both sides, along with mediators from the United States and Qatar. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other leaders have been engaged in dialogue to navigate through this new opening. David Bernea, the head of Mossad, has also played a significant role in the negotiations. Reports suggest that an easing of the blockade on Gaza could be part of the deal, aiming to improve humanitarian conditions in the region. This potential breakthrough follows intense diplomatic efforts and growing international pressure to end hostilities. Stakeholders, including the United Nations, and prominent global leaders have been calling for an immediate ceasefire. The dropping of the key demand by Hamas may be seen as a significant step towards addressing the humanitarian crisis and restoring relative peace in the Middle East. This is the news for today. Sunday, July 7, 2024. Cleaning Everest. Tackling 50 tons of frozen waste at Earth's roof. Mount Everest's highest camp is facing a significant environmental challenge due to the accumulation of frozen garbage. A team funded by the Nepal government has made a notable effort, removing 11 tons of waste and recovering 4 dead bodies. Despite these initial steps, the scale of the cleanup required is substantial, with an estimated 40 to 50 metric tons of debris still present at the South Call Camp. The discarded items include aged tents, food wrappings, gas canisters, oxygen cylinders, tent parts, and climbing ropes, all frozen in layers at the 8,000-meter altitude. The cleanup process is expected to take years, highlighting the need for increased environmental awareness among mountaineers and more effective waste management strategies.